As far back as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a filmmaker. I started off with little experiments, music videos for my friends, and after trying and failing and making lots of things, I broke into the industry, making films for brands, musicians, charities, but really, narrative has been my dream. But where do I even start with that? Making a film is hard. Often you just have too many ideas that are too expensive. I needed something simpler. So I decided to really scale things back. I set myself 3 rules. What if I could make a film at home with the equipment I had available and with a cast of just one person? Throw a household plant in the mix and Plant Life was born. I fleshed out the script and wrote a few drafts. I had my friend Charlie in mind to play the lead. Once I had that, I shared it with him and my little brother Bobby. With our combined skills, we could do that for free. Before they got involved, I storyboarded everything and did loads of tests. It's pretty stretched doing those tests on my own, but I was quite excited by the results and felt we could pull it off, just the 3 of us. So they came down for one day and cleared out one half of my living room and dressed the set. We set up the camera, some lights, and frankly we had quite a terrible solution for sound. But we started making our way through the storyboards. The day was stressful, and some stuff didn't work out, but we found ingenious solutions for other things. Running out of time, we decided we'd only shoot half of the film that day, and, film the other half on another day in a few weeks' time. We ended on a high, with Charlie absolutely nailing the final scene in the rain. Then what happened? Well, you know the rest. But that gave me time to cut the scenes and figure out what wasn't working. Ultimately, this was the greatest blessing.
I remember that well.
I rewrote a crucial monologue in the middle of the film, which brings the story to its head and reveals the whole situation he's in.
Raining on the
It was
way
so
back.
necessary,
It was pissing.
and I value the time I had to think about it. 6 months later, with a new plan, we shot the second half of the film and reshot the stuff that didn't work previously. Now, it was time to edit. So I went and cut the film, again and again, sharing it with my collaborators along the way. We found some issues with it straight away. The sound. In hindsight, we probably should have had an extra person covering that. I normally would, but in the interest of keeping things cheap, I decided we'll just figure it out. Figuring it out meant we'd have to ADR the dialogue and build the sound in post. The ADR was fun.
ADR's hard, man. It's fucking hard.
Charlie and I had a good catch-up, and we made the film so much better. I wish now that we got the sound right on the day, so I could give his performance the justice it deserved.
The day that I got
Gave me some brilliant alternate options, and we improved the opening scene dramatically by including some extra context with some off-screen dialogue at the beginning. Now it was time to add all the sound. This was hard, but again, with no budget, I just had to do it myself. I learnt a lot doing it this way, and it will help so much when I work with a sound designer in future. Meanwhile, Charlie was writing music, and he nailed that too. He wrote a song to perform in the film live, but I also gave him the task of scoring the film too. He sent over this beautiful piece which sets things up, and I found ways to drop the cues in other areas of the film too. It gave the film some beautiful symmetry, and worked perfectly to describe how the character was developing.
just like me.
But there was still a piece missing. I wasn't sure whether to keep the middle section music-free, to focus in on the character's monologue, but in the end it just felt too cold. I was eager for Charlie to contribute more music, but he was moving house and, life takes over. So I decided to try a few ideas myself. I used Charlie's score as a guide and wrote something new, feeling my musical voice almost represented the voice of the off-screen character. The dueling piano lines coming in and out of sync with each other kind of felt like what relationships are and what they're like. But there was also one major thing that I'd neglected. One dramatic shot, designed to reveal the distressed plant and the broken plant pot that ties the storm sequence together. And now it was just me, so how was I going to do it without my friends to help me? I planned a lot, and I tested a lot. I had to be my own special effects supervisor and my own art department. And because I wanted the shot to move, that made things way more complicated. but after 3 attempts, I finally got the shot. Our film was now complete. So what's next? Well, it'd be great if people saw it. We've had a screening, entered into a few festivals, and it's pretty much everywhere you'd expect to find it. It's cool and everything, but really, I just wanted to make my first film and prove to myself that it could be done. Charlie said something that stuck with me. Make something with someone you believe in, no strings attached, not for work or even play, just because you can. And with that, here's to the next one.
What are you looking at?